Raja,
Yeah, I also started.
now it's on. Now it's on. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. President, who will start the meeting?
Whoever
Raja.
start the meeting, please, Raja.
Raja?
Yes, 1 second.
Yeah.
రాజా మీరు కనపడలేదు కొంచెం పైకి రండి. That's it.
A meeting call to order. So good evening all. Let us start the meeting with prayer song. I request Retiran Sheila to present the prayer song, please. Sheila, please unmute yourself.
Or Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you. Now I request Rotarian Suchirtha Reddy, President of Rotary Club of Hyderabad Girls, to present the thought of the day. Suchirtha Garu, please unmute yourself and.
The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideals of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular to encourage and foster the following: the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve the society. The application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. Lastly, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, President Suchirtha Reddy Garu. Thank you for selecting Rotary objects as thought of the day. Now I request our Club Secretary, Retiran Ravi Madabusi, to present four-way test, please. Ravi Garu. Ravi Madabusi is there. So we can skip and we can go to the next one. So, Pujya Guruji Swami Bodhamayananda Garu, Guest of Honor District Governor N.V. Hanumanth Reddy Garu, the co-host Club President Suchirtha Reddy Garu, and Rotarian Praveen Pawar Garu, Rotarians from host clubs, Rotarians from other clubs, leaders from other districts, friends, family members, and guests. I welcome you all to the wonderful joint speaker meeting. Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Our culture teaches us that after mother and father, Guru is considered as equals to the God. Mother and father brings to this wonderful and how to make the world a better place to live. From the bottom of my heart, I thank Swami Bodhamayananda Guruji for accepting our request and joining us this evening and to bless us. Needless to say, Guruji is a man of wisdom and divineness. I thank Retiran.
No problem.
Please mute all. Saigar, please.
Next, Jintena. Sound in.
Continue, Rajgar.
Yes, Raj. I thank Rotarian Nadim for his support for taking the appointment of Guruji and bringing him to this meeting. Thank you, Nadim. I thank Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pearls and Rotary Club of Armoor for joining as co-hosts for this joint meeting. We are all proud of our baby club, Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pearls, for their achievements in the last 5 years. Rotary Club of Armoor is our friendship club for this year, and we are going to do joint projects in a large scale in this year. So many non-Rotarians are joining this meeting. So I feel I take the opportunity to say a few words about Rotary. Rotary has started 115 years back in the year 1905 by 4 friends. Rotary is an international service organization having its existence in more than 200 countries with 1.2 million Rotarians. Rotary has taken active part in eradicating polio from the world. The motto of Rotary is service above self. Rotary had awarded with 5-star rating by world's most credible rating agencies for its service activities and financial discipline. Rotary had no barriers, religion, region, color, caste, or creed. Rotary believes in humanity. Rotary works on 7 areas of focus in the selected service projects. 1, peace and conflict prevention or resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water and sanitation, maternity and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community development, and the 7th area of focus recently added is supporting the environment. We all feel that Rotaries around the world is our extended family. We are proud for doing good in the world and making the world a better place to live. Thank you. Now I request Rotarian Nadim Garu to introduce Puji Guruji to the August gathering, please. Nadim Garu, please introduce Guruji, please.
Thank you. Swami Bodhayananda, the director of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, Ramakrishna Math, Domalguda, Hyderabad. Swami Bodhayananda ji joined the Ramakrishna.
Nadim, unmute yourself.
Okay, Swami Bodhayananda ji is the director for Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, Ramakrishna Math, Domalguda, Hyderabad. Swami Bodhayananda ji joined the Ramakrishna order in Bangalore in 1984 and was invited into monastic vows in 1993. After initial training, he served the mission in Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, Chennai between 1989 and 2010. Since May 2010, he is serving as the director of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad. Swami Bodhayananda ji has so far conducted 900 workshops and seminars covering about 3 lakh students, teachers, managers and other professionals on human excellence, management, practical Vedanta and personality development in schools, professional colleges and many corporates in various parts of the country. He has addressed the Rotary clubs in the city several times. He has authored a book titled Mind and Modern Problems in English and Yuva Jagrati in Telugu for benefit of the youth, which have undergone several reprints. Swamiji is continuously engaged in training the youth as volunteers and leaders of the country. Till now, about 500 youngsters have been trained in the Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, and the number is increasing. I am very happy to associate with Vivekananda Institute as a volunteer, and sometimes I go and give sessions. Welcome to you, Swamiji. Yeah, unmute Swamiji's Yeah, thank you. Swamiji, you can start.
Okay. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhave. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from ignorance to knowledge. Lead us from death to immortality, from fear to fearlessness. Lead us from weakness to strength. Lead us from restlessness to peace. Let peace prevail everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from fear, diseases, uncertainty. May all be free from suffering. May all be free from difficulties, disturbances, depressions. May all be happy everywhere, in all directions of this city, state, country, and the whole world. Namaste to all of you. Namaskar to the president of various clubs, the members of the various clubs who have made this possible, the Rotary Club of Jubilee Hills, the Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pearls, Rotary Club of Arnoor, and the guest of honor, Rotarian Anumant Reddy Garu, our good friend, Sri Nadeem Mudeen, and all the people connected with this small meeting. At the outset, I once conveying my thanks and namaskars. I wish everybody, the members, their families, a good health, strength, peace, joy, and become more and more healthy, more and more purposeful and peaceful in life. This is really the testing time for all of us, terrible times that we are passing through, unprecedented times that we have been experiencing. But one thing, please keep in mind that this pandemic is not a new phenomenon to our forefathers, to our ancestors, maybe till the great-grandfather who were born in the last century. Those who are born in the 1900, say roughly, and now we are 120 years later, 2020, we are experiencing this pandemic. 1914 till 1918, our forefathers experienced the First World War, which killed more than 50 million people. And as soon as the World War ended, all of you are aware that the Spanish flu took over. For one full year, 60 million people perished from the face of this earth. Then we had the Great Depression of the United States. Within minutes, $400 million vanished from the New York Stock Exchange. And the whole world collapsed in business. And then we had 1933, the Nazis coming into power in Germany. Within 6 years, thanks to Adolf Hitler's egoism, he was instrumental or one of the pioneers of the Second World War. 1939, he attacked Poland. And for the next 5-6 years, millions and millions, the number is still uncounted, the Holocaust in Germany. And then 1944, Hiroshima, Nagasaki bombing. Then we had the Indian freedom coming at 1947 with the partition of our country. And in that time, all of us know who were born during that period, how much property was destroyed, how many people perished, how many were butchered on both sides of these countries. Then we had the oil crisis, the US-Iraq war. We had the tsunamis. We had so on, so on and so forth. The disasters at the physical level, disaster at the natural level is unprecedented. Then we had the swine flu. We had the AIDS. We have this, we have that. The whole map of the world has changed in one way or the other. Not to forget the Vietnam War. Vietnam, country used by the superpowers of Soviet Union and United States. Innocent people died. Innocent people perished. So those who are born little later, the youngsters, especially in this part of the century, feel that the old people or the older generation don't know anything. They did not use mobiles. They did not use internet. They did not travel much, but they survived. They took up the challenges, the opportunities given by this world. I would like to place before the respected members of the society, the Rotarians, who are not only the Rotary members, but please understand you are responsible parents, responsible citizens of this great nation, of this whole world. It is time, as the subject matter is creating opportunities, it is time for us to utilize the opportunity, maybe another 6 months more, for a percentage of this unseen enemy to cool down. It is taking tax of every kind. Let it be VAT, let it be GST, let it be any tax. It is training us away. There's no mercy for this unseen enemy called the coronavirus. All of us know it. I need not talk about it again and again because we are bombarded with information, bombarded with fake news, bombarded with all kinds of fear and other things are happening. So what I want to say, this is a very important story which all of you should understand. I don't call it a story. It actually happened. 1939-44, that 5-6 years of war, World War, we were also dragged into it. Indian soldiers also participated. They were taken by the British army officers to participate in different zones. I would like to tell 2 incidents. One which happened in Germany itself. And when the Jews were captured, millions of them were butchered. The old people were put into the gas chambers. The young people were shot dead. But the Nazi idea was to eradicate the very extinction or the very existence of the Jews on this planet. He said, I will see that their very root is cut off. Then what happened? He attacked the brain, the mind of the Jews, young Jews, the youth between 20 years and 30 years. He put all of them, hundreds of them, into the Auschwitz concentration camp. The notorious camp, which people visit Germany, visit Berlin and make a visit like pilgrimage center in Auschwitz. We have 2 centers in Germany, one in Berlin and one in Windwade. The Swamis in charge there who are resident monks there, one day visited and for 7 days, though he's a very senior monk and a very matured monk, he could not eat, he could not sleep. The terrible museum that they have created, the Holocaust, the voice and the cries, the pains of these ladies and gents is inexpressible. But then there was this young doctor by name Viktor Frankl. I mentioned this hundreds of times in schools, colleges, and many industries. The type that we are facing today in India and in the world, the pandemic, is much better. At least we are able to have some interaction. We are able to have news. We are able to have the internet. We are able to have the media. But at that time, Hitler made a policy that these young fellows should not read, should not get any news, should not talk to each other, but they'll be tortured and made to work for the sake of the German army. Imagine the condition. This is printed in a book, the autobiography of that doctor called Viktor Frankl, a book called Man's Search for Meaning. Today, your topic is creating opportunities. Look at that title, Man's Search for Meaning. Is there a purpose in our living today? Is there any purpose in our eating today? What is the purpose of life? These are the existential questions which were asked by the Jews. When I don't have a mother, when I don't have a father, when I don't have banks, when I don't have work, what for should I live? Now today we talk about economic crisis, but then you are getting 2 meals a day. We are talking wonderfully. Our Rotarians are all well educated, well fed, well clothed, and we have no problem. But then the Jews had a problem. had a problem with Hitler, or Hitler had a problem with you, though they were innocent people. Then this young man, since he is a doctor, a psychiatrist by profession, somehow managed to get a piece of paper, a newspaper which came flying into the torture chambers. He hid it in his pocket. These Nazi soldiers will not allow them to read. No news from outside. What happened to their wife, their children, their parents, their hospitals? Is it existing or is it gone? No news. Yeah, 5, 6. This man lived in Auschwitz camp, believe me, for 4 years. And he took that piece of newspaper. And in the night, in the dim light, when the soldiers are sleeping or only 1 or 2 are on guard, everything is closed, bitter cold, biting cold, he takes that piece of newspaper and starts reading the contents in German newspaper. And after having the vocabulary, after having that some idea of the news, what happened in some place, he starts thinking and thinking and thinking whole night and sleeps. He keeps himself warm by thinking. Now, my dear friends, you just make a wild guess. How many days that Dr. Viktor Frankl would have read that piece of newspaper? Just a piece of newspaper, mind you. It is not a book. He says, I read that piece of newspaper for nearly 4 years. Isn't it shocking? Isn't it bewildering to us? One piece of newspaper he kept on reading till Russia defeated Germany. Hitler committed suicide, they say, or was shot dead, they say. We don't know the exact truth. And Russians opened the doors, opened the gates of the prisons. These people, out of thousands who were in the prison hall, only few hundred survived that Holocaust. One of them to be counted is Dr. Viktor Frankl. And now Viktor Frankl goes back to Vienna, the capital of Austria, his hometown, only to see no banks, no hospitals, only injured old people moving about in chaos, in disturbance, in depression, committing suicide, hundreds of them. And they're all well-educated people. They're not just jobless. Jobs were taken away from them. His hospital was bombed. Where does he work? And he sees on the road so many hundreds of old people, infected, painful situation. What does he do? He takes a table and chair, broken table and chair, sits on the footpath outside his hospital and starts treating patients. So look at the opportunity that he has created for himself to serve his fellow brothers and sisters. And people come out of this agony, out of this panic. Now we are moving about, we are eating, sleeping, talking, some are working online, fantastic. But replace it by that situation when we are on the streets, when there is nothing to eat and everywhere there is wild destruction. And people come and say, I want to commit suicide. He tries to counsel them because he's a psychiatrist. He tries to counsel them, don't die, United Nations will come, the Allied forces will come, they will feed us, Russians will come, we are safe. But they say, we want to die. And hundreds are dying, literally dying. Very, very painful situation. You should read the book and cry and understand that we are in a safe zone in Hyderabad or in India, at least for time being. Now, he changes his entire pattern of treatment. He changes the entire pattern of treatment. He calls it logotherapy. Very interesting. Logotherapy. He plays with the mind. A mind game he does. He keeps a rope. He keeps some knife. He keeps a blade. He keeps a poison on his table. And when somebody comes and says, I want to die, this Dr. Viktor Frankl gives him a piece of rope. Take this rope and hang yourself. Or a poison. Whatever item you want, pick it up and go and die. The moment he says, go and die, they are shocked. They are shocked. They retreat and say, why should I die? Who are you to tell me to die? So look at the paradox. Look at the mind of the human beings. When they are In crisis, they say they want to die. When death comes, they don't want to die. This man succeeds in his formula. He says, all right, now sit down. I will tell you why you should not die. And the existential philosophy in Germany took over, and hundreds were saved. And that is how Israel was born. Now, he is traveling. There's one more small incident in that. He is walking on the riverside in Vienna. He sees one young lady being washed away, being drowned, and she is crying for help. Help me, she is shouting. He puts a rope. Villagers come, they save her, bring her out to the shore, gives her good coffee, hot coffee, gives her good clothes, and she's okay. And after 15 minutes, the shock of all these people and Dr. Viktor Frankl, that lady is crying uncontrollably. She is crying and yelling at these people. Viktor Frankl is shocked. He says, my dear sister, you are saved. You are not dying. Earlier you were crying and shouting and asking for help. We saved you. Why are you crying now? You know the shock of his life, the statement that lady makes. I want to die. Why did you save me? Imagine, just sit with eyes closed after the program is over and think about that reaction of that lady who is saved. She says, I want to die. Who are you to save me? You were crying for help. But that lady says, I cried for help. Does it mean that you should save me? This is very, very tragic of the mind. How our mind is our own friend, how our mind is our own enemy. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, raise yourself by yourself, O Arjuna. Uddhared atmanatmanam, atmanam avasatayet, atmaiva hyatmano bandhu, atmaiva ripuratmanaha. You are your own friend, you are your own enemy. The trained man is your friend, the untrained mind is your enemy. And this lady is crying and wants to go into the river. Somehow they'll pack her up and take her to the hospital, and psychiatric treatment is given. Like this, I'm not fancifying it, I'm just putting the reality before you. You're all experienced people and business people and working people. Industries you have, companies you have, and shops you have, parents you have, children you have, and you have a great responsibility to the society. So having said that, this existential problem, this living problem, this pandemic problem, this war-like situation, which we are whole world is waging, from the superpowers till a third world country like Sri Lanka or Southeast Asia. Okay. Now, I would like to place before all of us, all of you, another situation during the Second World War, towards the end. Japan is bombing and coming almost near India. It almost entered the northeast states. And there is Burma, Myanmar. We had a hospital there. It was bombed. We had a 300-bed hospital, Ramakrishna Mission. The monks had to come back to India because the advice of the Prime Minister, advice of the people there. And our senior monks who lived at that time, who were serving the people, who were taking care of them, were also helping the old people, helping the young people, the ladies, to come by boats, come by bullock carts, and so that India's government will give them refuge in Kurukshetra. Thousands of them lived there. Second World War ending time. Japan is bombardment. Now, when they are about to enter into the boat, suddenly some people get down, run back to their home, and bring all the costly gadgets, carrying it on their head. Let it be tape recorders, let it be pressure cookers, let it be radios, let it be transistors, whatever luxury was at that time, 1940s. They were all carrying. They said, we can't leave this in our home. We purchased it. We worked hard for it. We paid for it. So we want to take it to India. I said, how will you take it? Boat is full of people. 5 people boat is filled with 15 people. Bullock carts walking through, and fear of bombs, fear of air attack by the Japanese. No, we will carry it. All right, that is your idea. Carry it on your shoulders. You cannot keep down also. Jam-packed. And pandemic and cholera and plague everywhere. Now they have started their journey. 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers from Myanmar, they have crossed. One man said, it seems, oh, this pressure cooker, this transistor is a nuisance, and he threw it in the road. Somebody threw another costly gadget. Somebody threw their bags. And when they came to the borders of India, only their shirt and one towel and their wearing clothes were there, nothing in their hand. Our Swamis used to tell us, all around in the roads and in this one, all costly gadgets, tape recorders, spools, and clothes, everything is there. But nobody is touching them. Nobody wants that. They want to reach India border safely. And so many people settled down in New Delhi, settled down in Bangalore, came to deep south, went to western coast, and all India is full of that generation which came from Burma, which came from Pakistan. So now later on peace came. Why I am telling you this? Imagine what is the most vital thing in our life. If I ask anybody randomly, what is the purpose of life? Educated man or a school student or a college student, what is the purpose of life? We have not faced this question. We have not answered this question. We have not thought about this question because the entire nation, from students till the adults, were rushing towards something which they don't know what they will get. And all of a sudden, that unseen enemy called the COVID-19 is asking from the Prime Minister, President of India, till the sweeper in the corporation to shut the mouth, close the nose, don't touch your eyes, and sit with hands crossed. Don't shake hands with others also. So all the pancha indriyas, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, which were violent, which were taking away our freedom, has been asked to close. These three, with straight, eyes, nose, and our mouth, are to be closed. We should not touch our eyes, and we should not. We should keep our ears clean, and we should not shake hands also. No sparsha. Don't touch others. Don't touch anything without sanitization. So pancha indriyas are controlled now. There is time, there is opportunity for all of us to introspect. Time, opportunity has been created by nature. Though it's a very painful experience. I asked some doctor, and some of you who are doctor Rotarians will understand. I asked how long it may take. Already 4 months into our history. From March 15th, we are into July end. How much time? Then the doctor coolly said, we are preparing ourselves for much more terrible situation. Maybe December, maybe January, maybe February. We have no news. This unseen enemy has to change its mood, show compassion to the people, and show mercy on us, and say, okay, for this time I'm leaving you, and I will, if you play too much, have too much, I'm going to come again. My grandchildren will come and enter your house. So why I'm telling you this, apart from the joke, apart from the story, please understand opportunities. What is opportunity? What is an opportunity? An appropriate or favorable time or occasion. Something that you want to do or have to do, or the possibility of doing something is an opportunity. I repeat again, opportunities, appropriate or favorable time or occasion. Something that you want to do or have to do, or the possibility of doing something. Now let me just take you a little away from this definition and say the very thought, the very fact that you and I are born as human beings, the multicellular being called the Homo sapiens. This itself is a great opportunity. 3 things are very rare to get, my dear friends. Respected Rotarians, please keep this in mind and share it tonight along with the dinner with your family who are not attending this program. 3 things are very rare to get. If you have got it, if I have got it, if anybody has got it among the listeners, it is by the grace of God. Any form, any name of God, it is, or you can say only nature, if you don't believe in God. What is the first one? It is Manushyatvam, opportunity as a human being. From lower state, from the unicellular being called amoeba, till this fellow 5 feet, 6 feet, this big hero who thought he's everything in this universe, who is sitting with eyes closed and mouth shut, and we're all having this online meeting at 7:30 on 21st of July. Instead of meeting in some where you lost your coffee, don't have your cake, you don't have your dinner outside in the hotel, but you have to only have dinner only with 1 or 2 people. Now you see the opportunity of being born as a human being is a great gift. Second, Manushyatva. First one is Manushyatva. Second fact, never forget it. Whoever you are. Mumukshutvam, the aspiration to be free. The aspiration to be free. We lost our freedom. We lost our opportunities. We were all moving forward at tremendous speed. We did not have a proper direction. At least now we have got the resources. We've got the brains. The best brains are there in India. Some of the best brains are discussing with the West in economics, in industry, in education. A couple of days back, we had a national webinar conducted by the Institute of Human Excellence, where AICTE Chairman Anil Sahasrabudhe came online. What will the future of higher education? What is the kind of transformation that we need to have? We had Mohandas Paiji from Manipal. We had our Vice Chancellor from Kolkata, Vivekananda University Vice Chancellor, a great scholar, great PhD professor. We had Osman University former professor, Professor Rathinarayana, so many students, so 700, 800 people coming online and discussing the transformation of higher education for the welfare of the country. No more just for your job, no more just for your placements. It is something else that we have to look at. That is called in Sanskritam, Mumukshutvam, the aspiration to be free. Are you free today? Are you giving freedom for the senses? Or are you getting freedom from the senses? Now, by force, we are getting freedom from the senses. Senses is, again, which takes you out, which makes you objective, which makes you run for some goal in life. You may get it, you may not get it. Aspiration is that I want to be free, I want to be free. And we say 3 times, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. What is that first Shanti? It is Shanti about your health. Shanti about the system, the human body should be peaceful. Second Shanti is about nature, the physical nature that I am living with. That should be peaceful, that should be cooling down. Third Shanti is that supreme being, is that divinity, gods are the power and nature. Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. These 3 kinds of Shanti we should have. Mumukshutvam. The third very important thing, Mahapurusha Samshrayaha, the association of the like-minded, association of the wise people, association of holy people, association of somebody who has achieved something in life. Go to them, offer something, do namaskaram to them, ask questions, serve them, and learn more knowledge. You may not be able to go today in the next 2-3 months freely to any place and any time. But at least now we have got the online facility. Mahapurusha Samshraya. If you cannot go, there are certain wonderful teachings of the great masters, great leaders, great people. With your family, I wish all of you, you study before you sleep. You are 2 people at home, you are 4 people at home, you are 8 people at home, whatever may be your number at home. Study for some time, some inspiring literature. Mind is very important. It is not just the media, it is not just your work. Study for some time. Create the power of ideas in your mind. Very important. So 3 things are very rare to get. If you have got it, Daivanugraha Hetukam, it is by the grace of God. So first thing I want to share with you next just few minutes, be mindful around you. Mindfulness is very important. Before March, we did not have this mindfulness. We were rushing, pushing and pulling, as they say in psychology. Rushing, pushing and pulling. But now suddenly there's a sudden break. Let cool down. Mindfulness. Keep your mind straight. How do you keep your mind straight? There's a beautiful example in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Yatha dipo nivatasto nengate sobama smruta. Imagine a lamp in a windless place. There's no breeze, fan is not there, window is closed. You light up a candle. What is this? condition of the lamp, of the flame. It will be straight. Yatha dipo nivatastho. It will not flicker. It will not shake. It will be in its position, burning bright, drawing the energy from the wax. It will beam light in every direction. Like that, keep your mind straight. Yogino yatachittasya. See the words? Yogino yatachittasya. Yunjato yogamatmanaha. From the outside, bring your mind and fix it in your goal. Fix it in the Atman. Fix it in yourself. Translation. So, mindfulness is very important. There is a wonderful book about mindfulness. What Patanjali Maharshi calls it, Pratyahara. Pratyahara is the fourth state in yoga. The first is Yama, mental discipline. The second is Niyama, physical and mental discipline. The third is Asana. Third is Asana. Fourth is Pranayama. Fifth is Pratyahara. Pratyahara, attack, counter attack. The thought has gone somewhere. The mind is restless. You want to study, you want to work, but this fellow is going around the whole universe. It is not under your control. So Pratyahara is gathering the thoughts and putting it in one place. That book is very interesting. The second book I am suggesting to all of you, which is worth reading at this pandemic time. It is called The Miracle of Mindfulness. It's available in the Amazon. It may be available in Flipkart. It may be available in any other bookshop. The Miracle of Mindfulness. It is by a Vietnamese Buddhist monk who is now a refugee in America. He was in France. He's a very elderly man now. He moved to America. He is now taking classes of Buddhism in America. So his name is very interesting. They call it Thich Hat Han, T-H-I-C-H. Pronunciation of Thich Hat, T-H-A-T, Han, H-A-N. Miracle of Mindfulness. So where you can utilize is how mindful you are about the surroundings. Today, the object has taken away. We are unmindful. We don't know. We quickly eat. We quickly go somewhere. And while eating time, we'll be talking in the mobile. Something. I saw one person. He was eating, and some phone call came, and he cannot eat. He cannot talk. There is food in the mouth. There is mobile in the hand, and he is stranded, as if he is in a traffic jam in Gachibowli. This is the condition. Mindfulness. Why doesn't he tell, I will call you after 5 minutes, or finish the talk and then eat? He is like two boats, two legs. Is it possible to cross the river? Two legs in two boats? Not at all. Maybe in a film, maybe in a studio you can do, not in real life. So mindfulness is very important to create new opportunities. The second thing, Mahapurusha Samshraya, I told, modern psychology is telling, surround yourself with the right people. Testing times, pandemic times, sick times. Don't keep on talking only about the virus. Don't keep on talking only about the infections. Talk, half glass of water. There's half glass of water on your table. I asked somebody random, tell me the quantity of water. If that person, XYZ, is pessimistic, he will say half empty. If that person has got a positive attitude, he will say half full. Both are right, half empty or half full, but they are quarreling among yourself. It is half empty, and this fellow will sell half full, and there is a big chaos. You go to the court. Human Rights Commission will come in. But then, real Buddhi says, don't waste your time half empty or half full. Please bring in little more water and fill the glass and have a full glass of water. This is right education. This is royal education. Half glass, half empty. అందరూ చెప్పేది అదే సత్యమే. ఇప్పుడు చీకటిగా ఉంది మనకి. మార్నింగ్ 5 గంటలకు మళ్ళా వెళ్తురు, మళ్ళా సూర్యప్రకాశం. Is it a point to be debated? Physically, yes, it has to be debated. There is no sunrise or sunset. We are going around the sun. Sun is not going around us. We are going around the sun. But we say sunrise and sunset for naam ke vaste. Peru kosam cheptu untam. What I'm trying, the right people, the positive people, the divine people will give you the right opportunity and the right ideas to solve your problems. Now, you find in Swami Vivekananda's life. Please read the detailed life of Swami Vivekananda. Don't misrepresent, misquote, just reading one quotation there or one quotation here and say, I understood Vivekananda, I know everything. Sorry. So, Swami Vivekananda's father suddenly died. Look at the crisis. And this boy is the eldest in the family. All of a sudden, father died after heart attack. Night he's okay, morning he is not there. And within 2 days, situation changes among the relatives. Corruption enters their mind. Father had taken loans, and all these fellows who were their own relatives and neighbors and friends became enemies within 24 hours. They kept knocking the door of Swami Vivekananda and demanding, give me money, give me money, give me money, which your father has taken. His ancestral property was put under false case. They looted it, and it took 140 years to solve the cases. Just 20 years back, it came to the hands of Ramakrishna Math Mission after 140 years. Anyway, that's another story. Why I'm telling you this point is the right people at the right time will give you good opportunities in business or in knowledge or in good sleep also. Swami Vivekananda became an agnostic. Is God there? Is God not there? If God is there, why this suffering? If like that, he began to question his professors. Nobody could answer. Nobody could give a clear answer. He was a terrific mindset, rationalistic. He wanted clear proof. Then in the class of English grammar, English poetry, his professor by name William Hastie from Oxford University, who was living in Calcutta, tells this young boy Narendra, who is in a dilemma of what is right and what is wrong, and says, if you want to know the truth of your answer, please go to Dakshineshwar Kali temple. Sri Ramakrishna is there. A Paramahamsa is there. He will give you the right answer to your questions. Nobody else can save you. That is the first time he listens his word of his guru, future guru, from an English professor. See how the opportunities came in Vivekananda's life. Then Swami said, all right, let me respect my professor's word and go to Dakshineshwar. But luckily, his own uncle was a devotee, disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna came to Calcutta to be with Ramachandra Datta, a doctor in Calcutta. Then Vivekananda goes there, the relationship starts, the introduction is carried out. Vivekananda sings 2 beautiful songs of Rabindranath Tagore, and the rest is history. How Narendra comes to Sri Ramakrishna for the next 5 years, 1881 till 1886, Sri Ramakrishna gave up his body. There was a wonderful education between the modern mind and the ancient mind of Sri Ramakrishna. 5 years of education, other than what Vivekananda used to get in Calcutta University. Anyway, that opportunity I'm talking, surround yourself with right people. I want to tell you again, time and again in Vivekananda's life, the right people came. If I have to take you towards Chicago, the right people advised Vivekananda. There is a news item in the newspapers that a Chicago Parliament of Religions will be held. Anybody can represent their religion, their country. Right people came at the right time. The Raja of Khetri came in Vivekananda's life at the right time. He arranged the immigration. He arranged the train ship fare, gave him dress, and gave him the name Vivekananda. Vivekananda was not Vivekananda. He was something else. He was hiding his name, changing his name in every state. Finally, Raja of Khetri, Ajit Singh, said, my dear Guruji, please take this name Vivekananda. It will be the right name for you, having so much of discrimination. Anyway, Vivekananda goes to America. Again, the right man comes in the ship. Please understand how this particular one teaching is enough to show you that you will come across right people if you have got the right intention, right desire, right way. Now, Vivekananda is traveling by ship from Bombay, and the ship is going to Hong Kong, Hong Kong to Vancouver, to Tokyo, Tokyo to China, China to Vancouver, etc., and then goes to America. On ship, Swami Vivekananda meets another right man. Who is that? Jamshedji Nasaronji Tata. J.N. Tata, the founder of Tata Company, the founder of Tata Steel Industry in Jamshedpur, and both of them, like-minded people, they are thinking of their own country. How I can work for my country, elevate the suffering of my people so on and so forth. Why is Tata going to Canada and America? To have business understanding, to have some discussion with those people. To get a matchstick in India, people had to go to Manchester. Tata is going to get steel from Canada. Vivekananda says, why don't you manufacture steel in India? It will give good employment to our people. And Vivekananda gave another wonderful advice. And Vivekananda was only 30 years, a monk without a bank balance, not a Congress party president, not having any experience, but having a mighty vision. The Dura Drishti, as you say, the foresight and the foresight he had. He tells Jamshedji Nasronji Tata, if you don't do something for the youth of India, these fellows all will migrate to the West and we will lose the brains, we will lose fertility, we will lose that dynamism of the nation. The vitality of the nation will disappear. At that time, Vivekananda is thinking about the youth. Today we are talking about youth problems, youth employment. And Vivekananda said, start a center, a research center, which we lack research in India even after 75 years. And that research center should have two wings, science and spirituality, science and meditation, science and asceticism. Wow. Then both of them depart. Vivekananda goes to America, Tataji, Jamshedji Tata goes to the other side, and next 4 years there's no contact. But something is going on in the brain of this Jamshedji Tata, the seeds which Vivekananda put, the opportunities which Vivekananda said Indian youth should get. And by the time Vivekananda came back in 1897, I would like to tell you, Jamshedji Tata writes a letter to Vivekananda in Kolkata and said, please remember me as your co-passenger on so-and-so ship traveling from Mumbai to Vancouver. And you told me to start a research center. For that, I have allotted 28 lakh rupees at that time. How much? 28 lakh rupees I have allotted. And that money was kept in J.N. Tata Fund. And 1905 only, after Vivekananda's departure from this world, that Indian Institute of Science was started by the Tata Company, which was still recently called Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. Indian Institute of Science, the government took over, and then it became a wonderful science center of excellence, of research. The brainchild was Vivekananda. Why I'm telling you all this is, when you get the right intention of doing something sincerely, tana, mana, dhana, paniki chair. Kaya, vacha, manasa, surrender to that work, plunge inside. And then you will see the opportunities knocking at the door. Swargadwaram apavrutam, they say. The gates of heaven will open. Nothing can stop you from success because you have gone into the very depths of the ocean. Vivekananda did not have money in America. Right people came. In the train, one young lady by name Kat Sonborn of Boston, she was also traveling. Within 1 hour, they became friends and said, Swami, come and stay with us. Swami Vivekananda went, stayed with her, and she introduced Vivekananda to a professor of Harvard University. Right man came at the right time there. Gave a letter of introduction to Swami Vivekananda. And with that letter, Swamiji could appear in the Chicago Parliament and speak and bombard and conquer the whole world, which is a world famous speech of September 11, 1893. But that opportunity given by that professor, if the professor would not have given that letter, Vivekananda was not eligible, was not given a ticket to enter the seat also, not even as an audience. You know what that professor writes? To ask you, Swami, an ID card is like asking the sun its right to shine. Vivekananda's intelligence is the intelligence of all the American professors put together. Professor of Harvard University, within half an hour, gives him an opportunity to speak in the Chicago Parliament. This is very, very interesting stories that we have in Vivekananda's life. And next 4 years, 7 years, till he gave up his life, whole world came to his feet. And he became a friend of the world. He said, don't restrict me to Bengal. Don't restrict me to India. I belong to the whole world. Universalism is my ism, he had said. Vishwa Manava Vivekananda, we say. Some people who are admirers of Vivekananda say, he became a universal man, a boy of the Calcutta streets, sitting at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna, an illiterate priest, travels the whole world and says, "My India, the India eternal. Na Bharatam Amara Bharatam." The original is in Bengali, but English translation of his lectures is a book called My India, the India Eternal, which every Rotarian's family should read and understand what exactly is our responsibility for a new future. The third point I want to tell you, improving yourself is another opportunity. Please improve your personality. What is it that is in me that is not in other persons? It is not just personality development of speaking well, of wearing suit, coat and boot and staying in a big position. Sorry. Personality development, please translate into Sanskritam or Telugu. It will be translated as what? Vyaktitva Vikasamu. Personality development translated into our own bhasha becomes Vyaktitva Vikasam. Simple three terms. Vyakti, Tattvam, Vikasam. వ్యక్తిలో ఉన్న తత్వము యొక్క వికాసము అది రియల్ పర్సనాలిటీ blossoms. I put a seed that becomes a big tree, big plant later. Big tree gives me fruits. Tree ఎక్కడుండింది అది ఎంత? But where was the fire of that power of the tree? It was in the tiny seed, right? Tattvam, the truth, is very important. A doctor, how do I understand that he's a good doctor? But by the manifestation of the truth. How do I'll just tell you a name of a person. Since we are not interactive, it's not face-to-face Mukhamukhi conference, I'll just tell you, Vishwanath Anand. Who is the Vishwanath Anand? Name of a person. There may be thousands of Vishwanath Anand. But when we say Vishwanath Anand, immediately our mind will go to the grandmaster, chess player, world number 1, India's pride, Vishwanath Anand. I did not tell what Vishwanath Anand's qualification. I said Vishwanath Anand only. Sirf naam bataya. Immediately all of you, 100 people listening to me, what did you think Vishwanath Anand means? A chess player. You did not think of anything else. Because Vishwanath Anand gave his life last how many years? Can you imagine? Vishwanath Anandji is now 58 or 59 years. He started playing chess when he was 4 years old. That means last 50 years he is playing chess. He has given up his life. Do you ask Vishwanath Anand the marks that he got in 10th standard? The marks that he got in degree or engineering? No. That is worthless now because he is the grand master and the world champion of the whole world. What did he do? He improved upon his talent. He measured his talent. His mother, his mentor, his guru, his wife, everybody contributed to his talent, and there's no looking back. And there's no retirement for that guy. So there's a particular person called Vyakti Vishwanath Anand. Tattvam is chess player. Dani Vikasam, he developed it. He worked on it. And there, next is history. He has no looking back. His name is printed in the sports history of India. So similarly, all of us have to improve ourselves. Time and again, we get the opportunities. But we put it aside, we postpone it and cry later. The fourth thing that all of us have to think as Rotarians is giving back to the earth, giving back to society creates more opportunities. It's not just a consumer. We need to be contributors to it. In one way or the other, I appreciate the work of Rotary. I get news from various members, from various sources, the work that you are doing. But it's not sufficient. Higher possibilities are there. Higher ways of doing Karma Yoga are there. So this contributing back is a big mission today of the Tatas and the Birlas and so many other wonderful NGOs. They give back to society. And in the pandemic time, many people did it. Many people are doing it. It's not sufficient. Huge cut. How much we can do? But at the same time, by giving, by sharing, even you may not give physically, but at least I request you to give mentally as much as possible. Manasika Seva. 3 kinds of Seva are there. One is Annadanam, as much food as possible, as much clothing as possible. Fine. But tomorrow he will come hungry. Instead of just giving him food, along with the food, you should think of giving him knowledge. Vidyadana. Vidyadana, education, education, education. Traveling through the length and breadth of the whole world, I found out the success of the West and Europe is education, education, education. We have even now not even touched the basics of education. We have lost somewhere the game of education. Vidya, paravidya, paravidya. We are not able to understand that powerful concept of education. We are still working on literacy. When you see the census, you see statistics of the government of Telangana, government of AP, government of Karnataka or India, what do they say? How many literate people are there in Telangana? Are they asking how many educated people are there? So we have put just some job, roti, kapda, makhan, vidyabhyasam. But is that all? Then if roti, kapda, makhan is everything, why does an IIT scientist commit suicide? Why did the Cafe Days founder Siddharth commit suicide? Why did Sushant Singh commit suicide? Why in Warangal, a young girl thinking that she will fail in the exam, intermediate, committed suicide? Why there is corruption? Why there is higher education? That is where it says improving yourself and contributing so that I get the inner fruit, not only the external fruit. A tree has got two fruits. One is the inner fruit, another is the external fruit. Today we forget the inner fruit of peace, joy, strength. That opportunity which nature is giving, we are worried about the external fruits only. So we have to give back, and that creates more and more opportunities. The last point for all of the respected Rotarians of Hyderabad, the different branches, think about your possibilities. It's a very important tool of success, important tool of progress. Opportunities will come when you understand the possibilities. Samarthyam, potentiality is converted into opportunities. If there are no possibilities, it will be like salt without salt taste. Jesus Christ beautifully says in Sermon on the Mount. He said, I leave salt on my table for one day. Then what happens? Salt evaporates, or the taste of salt goes away. Salt will be there, the powder will be there. We call it chalk powder, right? It's useless. We throw it out of the window. Sugar loses its sweetness. Do we call it sugar? No, it is chalk powder. It's white powder. We throw it out of the window because the ruchi ledu, uppu ruchi ledu, panchadara ruchi ledu. Enduku inka table మీద పెట్టుకొని పారేస్తాం. But now replace it by human beings. If man loses his manliness, do we call him a man? In Hindi, when we say manush, जो मन में हुश है वो मानुष है, नहीं तो zombie है. मन में हुश नहीं है, the spirit नहीं है. If the prana shakti is not there, we are all dead bodies, zombies. Now we are all with a laptop, you are watching me, you are listening to me online, Zoom and Cisco WebEx and YouTubes and all that. Current has gone for 5 minutes. What happens? Whole thing is shambles. We become mad. We become mad. If there is no, what do you call, bandwidth, if that signals of geo, signals of we are losing that focus. Where is my possibility? This subject is very vast. I don't know if any of you are interested, any club is interested, we can have the science of human possibilities itself as a big subject. It's a research paper in Harvard University, Science of Human Possibilities. Swami Vivekananda mentioned it in the Chicago Parliament, and on this platform, times I address self, I. What is the idea before me? Who am I? I close my eyes. Now when I open my eyes, I have a relationship. I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm a brother, I'm a sister, I'm a citizen, I'm a consumer, I'm a traveler. But when I close my eyes or when you've gone into sleep, who are you, sir? In sleep, you are only a blood donor for mosquitoes. Can you tell me how many times you turn left side or right side in 6 hours sleep? You don't know, because mind is not there. Mind has gone inside and is making its own drama, its own film show. You are the villain, you are the actor, you are the hero, you are dead, you are a Maharaja, you are a beggar, and within 6 hours you go all around the world and come back, the same room, same house, same family, same toilet. But inside, possibilities, the higher possibilities. Kaushika Maharaja, I don't know if you have read the Ramayana, there was a fight between Kaushika and Vasishtha. That was a turning point in Kaushika's ego. His ego was smashed by the Yoga Danda of Vasishtha Maharshi. And there, Kaushika gives a very powerful statement, which should be written in our forehead. He realizes his mistake. He realizes the uselessness of his ego, of the weapons, which got completely exhausted. There was no counterattack, but he was using all the missiles which the Yoga Danda of Vasishtha swallowed. My dear friends, there he makes a classic statement. He said, Dik Kshatriya Balam Brahma Tejo Balam Balam. What a wonderful statement, a powerful UNESCO statement this is. Dik Kshatriya Balam. I give up this Kshatriya Balam. The arrogance, the pride, the weapons. It doesn't work always. It is good for defense. It's not this one. Brahma Tejo Balam Balam. Oh. Then he sacrifices everything, his kingdom, his family. And then that Kaushika is transformed like a metaphysicist. It was all hidden inside. The possibilities were hidden inside. He had to do tapas for many years. He fell down from the goal, from the ideal because of Menaka and other natural temptations. Again, he started from scratch and becomes Brahmarishi Vishwamitra. He becomes Ramachandra's guru. He becomes the founder of the Gayatri Mantram and whatnot contribution Vishwamitra. So why I'm telling you, a small fisherman's son, all of you know, he becomes Bharat Ratna APJ Abdul Kalam. A boy walking in the streets of Calcutta, he becomes Swami Vivekananda. A man who was sitting on the footpath in Bangalore city, he becomes the father of Indian engineering called Mokshagundam Vishveshwaraya. A boy who was selling pakoda, selling so many wonderful stories we have, he becomes somebody else. He becomes a professor in a big university. So this small fellow can become huge fellow. Not Bahubalam should be taken care by all of us. Bahubalam, physical strength. I am physically strong, but you have to maintain that physical strength. Otherwise, immunity will get down and corona will enter, they say. But then we have to protect ourselves. Bahubalam is required. Defense mechanism should be there. But is that enough? Buddhi balam is very important. Discrimination, detachment, concentration, positive thinking. These are all departments of Buddhi balam. Then finally, end of the day, all of us should be able to live a contented, deep inner spiritual life, Atma Balam. These opportunities of gaining Atma Balam is always there through yoga, through various means. That is the purpose of the Institute of Human Excellence for entire city and state and country. In the last 20 years, we provided several opportunities. As Nadimuddin said in the beginning, day after, even now, we are conducting online classes for people in America or in Delhi or in Bangalore or in Vijayawada or in Nellore or in Visakhapatnam. We are doing that. We are creating the opportunity. Come and meditate online. You may not be able to travel. I may not be able to travel. Come, let us discuss certain issues. Let us solve our problems, national problems, economic problems, youth problems. Opportunities come. But mindfulness, summary, mindfulness, surrounding yourself with the right people, improving upon your capabilities, giving back to nature, which creates more opportunities, and end of the day is 3H formula, which is head to think, heart to feel, and hands to work. Swami Vivekananda says the time has come for us, for a man. We need a man who can think, who can give us powerful, pure ideas. Second, not only thinking, we need people who can feel, my children, feel, he used to tell. The difference between all the leaders of India, political, social, economic, and Swami Vivekananda, keeping on the other side, is the feeling. It goes beyond everybody. He had become, you want to see compassion, you want to see a real mother, see the Vivekananda. There are other, it's a subject matter different. Feeling is very important. Third, hands to work. Practicals. Can you wipe the widow's tears? Can you feed an orphan's mouth? Can you give some spiritual knowledge to somebody? What you have, can you share? But hands to work. Practicals. So this is a triangle, head to think, heart to feel, and hands to work. That also is a good opportunity for us. So this wonderful time that we had in the last 50-60 minutes. I'm thankful to the organizers, thankful to the club members, and to my good friend Nadeem for making this possible to see all of you online. Thanks to technology, thanks to everything. So we are always there in Hyderabad. We're always there in Ramakrishna Math for any programs, anything. Next 4 or 5 months, we can have online session. I leave with an announcement that coming Sunday, it's a very important day for India, 26th July. It is Kargil Vijay Divas. So we are organizing a online tribute to all the Kargil war heroes. So many people connected with us, they are coming, who fought in the Kargil war, who were in the armed forces, seniors, who are in the present, who are retired. They all will come. Youth of India will join. They will offer their tributes. Sitting at home, sitting in your table, you can offer a flower. You can light up a candle. Let us sing a patriotic song. Let us wipe the tears of those widows or of those mothers whose sons at the young age of 24, at the young age of 22. For example, Vikram Batra, his mother is called Veera Mata by the government of India. His father is called Veera Pita. And this man said, I know I will die, but let me die for the nation. That's how he becomes PVC, Paramveer Chakra. Today evening, I was having a talk with a chat with Captain Naveen Nagappa from Bangalore. Vikram Batra saved him and he took the bullets. So Naveen Nagappa is grateful to Vikram Batra. And this man in the process lost both his legs. For 21 months, he was in the hospital and both the legs had to be amputated. And he will come online and tell that story where Vikram Batra pushed him aside and took all the bullets on himself, which was fired at point blank range. So emotional stories. And they say, why should we sacrifice our personal this one for your sake? You should, the citizens of India, the respectable parents and the mothers have to come forward and contribute for the nation. So it is a big challenge before all of us to take up this. So Sunday, we will send the link to Nadeemuddin ji, and you can just register Naam Ke Vaste just for our account. So you can send the mails, send your names collectively and participate just 2 hours, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock Sunday morning, a tribute to the Kargil war heroes by the Human Excellence Institute and the Youth of India. It will be a very emotional program. One young girl who did not see her father because she was not born at that time. Her mother was still pregnant into 6 months, and that girl was born after 9 months, and she is now 20. She is in Hyderabad, and she will come online, tell why she did not see her father. Her mother is called Veera Nari by the Indian Army. It's a very interesting, deep psychology. Look at their life, how comfortable others are. So there are certain things which we have to participate collectively. I request the support and cooperation of all of you to participate in that and offer the tributes for just 2 hours on Sunday morning. It's an open invitation. for all the members in the country, not just Hyderabad. So wish you all the best, fellow dear friends, and may God bless you, give you good health, strength, peace, joy. Do your yogasanas, do the pranayama, build up that mechanism, and see that through your prayer, through your life, Mr. Corona or Mrs. Corona, we don't know, they will go, and all of us will be healthy and lead a good life, a peaceful life, not just again going back and running behind matter. Some sensitive life, that will be a good opportunity. Thank you, Nadeem.
Thank you,
you,
Swamiji.
President. Thank you, everybody. Namaskaram.
I'm missing the Prasadam, Swamiji.
Thank you, Guruji, for the invitation. We'll certainly join you on 26th. Now I request our district governor Hanumanth Reddy Garu to say a few words. Hanumanth Reddy Garu, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Greetings and best wishes to each and every one of you from 3 Rotary Club who are part of this joint program. Rotary Club of Jubilee Hills President Raja Krishna Garu and team, Hyderabad Pearls President Sucharita Garu and team, and my home club, Rotary Club of Armoor President Praveen Pawar and team, and all fellow Rotarians, good evening to all. It is wonderful to see urban and rural clubs having a joint meeting, and we are happy to have Swami Bodhamayananda ji from Ramakrishna Mutt, who is also the director for Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence. I especially recollect his message on 3 H's: develop your head, feel your heart, feel with your heart, and work with your hands for the development of the society. This is very much applicable to each and every Rotarian in doing good in the world. I am a great follower of Swami Vivekananda and inspired by his messages. I take this opportunity to appreciate the great work done by their Vivekananda Health Center at Hyderabad, providing very affordable medical treatment to the needy. Rotary is working with Ramakrishna Mission on various projects, and last year, Rotary Club of Secunderabad Sunrise has donated a latest digital X-ray machine. This year, we are planning a mega project, mobile cancer detection bus. This bus will help early detection of cancer in rural areas, especially women, where they do not have access to expensive testing facilities. Early detection will result in early cure, saving thousands of precious lives. I would like to close my talk with a famous quote from Swami Vivekananda. The more we come out and do to others, the more our hearts will be purified. Thank you so much for excellent message, Swamiji, and we adopt it in our lives. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, District Governor Garu. Now I request Rotarian Jyoti Reddy Garu to present vote of thanks. Jyoti Reddy Garu, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
1 second, Jyoti. Please welcome Sumati, prospective member. This is the first meeting she attended. Please continue.
Parivartanam eva stiram asti, which means the only constant is change. So having changed approaches, changed thoughts, changed situation analysis will definitely make a person progressive or an organization progressive in challenging times. Having said that, namaste to all the people who are present in this joint speaker virtual meet. Honorable Speaker of the evening, Swami Bodhamayananda, Director, Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, Hyderabad. Guest of honor, Rotarian Hanumanth Reddy Garu, District Governor. Past District Governors, enthusiastic
Jyoti Reddy Garu, you are not audible.
As
Ravi?
current
Yeah, Ravi Madabushi.
I think current has gone.
Okay.
Ravi Madabushi, are you there?
I'll take over from there.
Yeah, please carry on.
Thank you
Please
very
continue.
much for all the members from all the 3 clubs for joining us on this wonderful evening. And once again, thank you, Swamiji, for such a beautiful message. In fact, if you can remember, last year also we wanted to have your session. I met you personally to begin our first speaker meeting with you. In fact, today it's our opportunity to have you here and listen to you. And we look forward to have one more session from you about the possibilities, which is quite interesting. Maybe we'll reach you after some time to have your time for that. And thank you, DG Garu, for joining us this evening. And
Hello, I'm audible.
Yes, Jyoti Reddy, are you back?
Yeah, I would like to continue.
Please take over.
Yeah, I just remember the words of Swamiji. Because Vakshuddhi chala untadi Swamiji. Meer annaru suddenly the power cut happens. What happens to a meeting ani? So definitely. So having said that, guest of honor Rotarian Hanumant Reddy Garu, district governor, past district governors, enthusiastic assistant governors present in the meeting, dynamic presidents and energetic secretaries of the Rotary Club of Jubilee Hills, Rotary Club of Hyderabad Pearls, Rotary Club of Armour, and other members of other Rotary clubs. 30 club members have attended today's meeting. Respected senior Rotarians, valuable Rotaractors who are our guests for the evening, and mentors of our club, directors, my fellow Rotarians from our club and all other clubs, valued invited guests. All of you. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks this evening. Feeling gratitude and not expressing is like wrapping a present and not giving it. On behalf of all our Rotarians, I take this wonderful opportunity to express my gratitude to Swami Bodhamayananda for enlightening us this evening with his wonderful words. Giving time is the biggest gift and the precious gift that anybody can get, as it means the person is giving a part of his life. So I extend my heartfelt appreciation to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time with us by accepting our invitation for the second time. It's a great pleasure to share that Swamiji has addressed this evening for the second time, and his first address was in the month of July 2015 on the topic, Be a Gift to the World. Thank you for reminding us that challenges are not new to human beings, and it all depends on how we empower ourselves to change challenges as opportunities and emerge as winners by taking the example of Viktor Frankl. The way you use the example of Viktor Frankl's story, referring his book, Man's Search for Meanings, sharing insights to count our blessings than our problems, is very thought-provoking. The logotherapy and mind game, the way he used, and the mind existential philosophy to instill positive attitude is very helpful. Mind is our enemy and mind is our friend. That is really insightful. The way you gave a call to introspect about the purpose of our lives leaves us to think seriously this evening along with our family members. The way you made us, being born as a human being itself is a great opportunity, is a jewel of this evening. The aspiration to be free, association of like-minded people are good human beings. How important is having mindfulness to get opportunities is thought-provoking. The book which you have referred by Thich Nhat Hanh, The Miracle of Mindness book, and even the book written by you along with Man's Search for Meaning, the 3 books will be read by all our Rotarians without fail. Thank you so much for bringing a new perspective of filling the half-filled glass water to make it a full glass of water is really interesting. With different examples, the thought that you have instilled in us, that meeting right people at right time to create opportunities is very appropriate in the present situation. So Tana, Mana, Dhana and Vacha Karma, what is the importance of that is very, very helpful. The precious insights and the messages that I took for this evening is lifelong learning and the personality development is very important. Giving back to society, and the way you referred Annadana and Vidyadana, which are also the verticals of Rotary clubs, is very, very aligned with what you spoke today evening. Think about your possibilities. That will give you opportunities, really makes us to meet right people at right time and think about the possibilities with Rotary clubs. Man mein kush, wo hai manush is very interesting. That has really brought the humor in you, though you have given a serious speech that has really made us to think that being happy, being satisfied with what we have, counting our blessings is more important in a man's life. Yes, this is the lesson that we all got, and the control over 5 senses and contentment spiritually is the purpose of life at the end of human life. So I really thank you on behalf of all Rotarians for enlightening us by making us glued to our chairs for 50 minutes and made us to think very seriously about the hidden truths of life this evening. I also thank our
Thank Jyoti Reddy garu for her excellent vote of thanks. Now I think we can close the meeting.
Actually, President, to thank even our Jyoti Reddy because he has summarized everything such nicely.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to recognize the presence of DJ and Rajshekar Reddy garu.
Rajshekar Reddy garu, welcome sir. Thank you. No, but now it is time to close the meeting, sir. It's already 8:30. We want to maintain the time.
Adjourn.
President garu, you can call off the meeting and you can continue these people for some more time.
Okay, let us rest for national anthem, sir, first.
Yeah.
Second, I will try to play it.
पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मांगे गाहे जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद।
The meeting is adjourned, sir. Meeting is adjourned. You can. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining.
Okay, President Rajakrishna, great meeting.